Aloha and welcome back to the show. My name is Jake and we're going to cover everything in entertainment, pop culture, and whatever else I feel like talking about today. It's Thursday, August 22nd. It's almost the end of the summer and it feels like not much notable has happened. Well, except a few things which we can talk about today. Let's start off with Miss Jools LeBron, the Demure Diva. Her video went viral on TikTok and Instagram talking about how when she goes into work, she thinks about being very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. Let me tell you, this woman has a stranglehold on America right now because I went to a party on Saturday and everyone, it seems like, had the bug, girl. They had the virus. They could not stop saying very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. It's cute the first one or two times you say it, and every time you say it after that, I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I'm glad she's making her little brand of it. She's having her moment, and I hope that she can sustain her career on the internet with this one viral sensation. Jools has already cemented her place in the cultural zeitgeist by being on Jimmy Kimmel on Tuesday night, where RuPaul guest hosted, brought her out. She got to have her moment. These are the small seeds that get planted at the beginning of someone's career. But I have a feeling from watching a couple of her older videos that she's got a couple more viral moments in the can, because she's pretty funny. And apparently going viral has financed her transition, which is absolutely incredible. These are the types of things that the internet was made for, not other things that we don't need to mention right now. Speaking of political adjacent, Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of JFK, spoke at the DNC last weekend. And let me just tell you, I had impure thoughts. I love that he's buttoned up on the weekdays and unbuttoned on the weekends. And that's exactly how a person should be. Yep. Keep feeding us that content, Jack, because we are eating up every bit. Anyways, that's enough about the politics. Let's slide over to streaming news. The Acolyte on Disney Plus has been canceled after one season. The Star Wars spin-off proved to be not so great, even though it was headed by the showrunner of Russian Doll. It had pretty solid casting, especially Manny, which everyone has been making fan cams of because he is quite the delicious piece of meat. Anyways, Amanda Stenberg also slated, playing two different characters, but something about this just fell flat. And that was clearly shown in the numbers that went down every week. It started with a solid 4 million plus viewers on the premiere, but with every week and every episode, the viewers continued to decline. The opposite happened with Andor, whose viewership only went up every week because the buzz was so crazy about how good that show was. So there's going to be a season 2, and allegedly it's going to be so much fucking better than season 1, according to one of the actors, which could be just drama because, you know, you're in a show and you're excited about it and you're getting a season 2 and you're probably going to be in it more. So it could be a little bit of an overhype, but maybe not. Sometimes the second season doesn't hit a sophomore slump and it actually is a lot better than the first one. Plus, I just saw her in The Hitman, The Something About a Guy, about a man, a person, a male. She was in that and she was sickening. Okay, anyways. Shogun slashing the Emmys with 25 nominations, the most of any series this year, and quite honestly, I think they're going to take most of them home. Yes, we're tired of things sweeping award shows, I get it, but this show is just so exquisitely done. I hope they don't hit the sophomore slump like I was just talking about, because there's already 2 more seasons planned, because it's FX's most watched series ever, which is fantastic news for Hulu, who is hitting a bit of a rough patch right now. It's also making history as the second non-English language series in the best drama category. It's not going up against The Bear, since The Bear apparently is a comedy. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Fallout hits right behind with 17 nominations, proving that a video game adaptation can be done right, with the right people behind the production, which I can't say for Borderlands, which moves us into movie news. Borderlands has done $13 million domestically and $21 million globally in the box office on a budget of over $100 million. Directed by Eli Roth and written by him and Craig Mazin, who tried to get his name taken off this project and instead made up some weird stage name, Joe Crombie, whoever that is. It's Craig Mazin from The Last of Us. He just didn't want his name attached, so he somehow got the credit but didn't get the credit, but his name's on the film, but it's not Craig Mazin, it's Joe Crombie, and I don't know who Joe Crombie is, but congrats to you, you failed. There were also reshoots done by Tim Miller, but unfortunately you can't put glitter on a shed, so that's why we are where we are. Shooting wrapped in 2021, so this movie has been sitting on shelves with an obnoxious Ariana Greenblatt starring in the titular role of Tiny Tina for quite some time. And instead of pulling a Batgirl, they said, let's release this film. I don't agree with any of these large companies throwing a finished product away. But in this case, I think it should have just gone straight to streaming. It shouldn't have gone to the box office. They're wasting a ton of money. Everyone already got paid on it already. And there are some solid moments in this film. I mean, Cate Blanchett, a 52-year-old woman playing a 22-year-old character, really shows this woman's versatility. I mean, she is an excellent actress, and really, it's the only watchable thing about this film. Actually, I quite enjoyed Kevin Hart in this movie. He wasn't trying so hard to be funny. He was actually giving a calm, kind, caring, nuanced, dramatic interpretation of a character. And I'm interested to see him star in something of this sort. Well, he already did that. Now, Miss Kate could read the ingredients off the side of a cereal box, and she would probably win an Oscar for it. But even she couldn't save the destruction of the box office that this film would do. Whatever it is what it is. Speaking of actors who are too old to be playing the roles that they're in, Harold and the Purple Crayon, starring the Zachary Levi, based on a children's book from 1955, has done an underwhelming $16 million. I don't know what the budget on this was. It'll pop up here if I figure it out. That's not so great, and even if you watch the trailer, it's quite cringy to watch a 43-year-old man play a curious 5-year-old with a crayon that brings things to life. See, the concept is really cool. It could be done really well. I'm surprised that Ryan Reynolds didn't throw his hand on this. Well, he already had a children's movie this year, so he was busy. That's what you get when you release a children's movie in the middle of summer, starring a problematic centerpiece who has no social awareness.
If you don't like me, that's okay. I like me. In fact, I love me.
Moving to the star of the box office right now, Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez, premiered at $42 million and is slated to not take a huge drop this weekend. It's going to continue to do really well. On a budget of $80 million, it's already made back half of its situation, and it's slated to make quite a bit more. This is the summer flick we've all been waiting for. Yes, it's another sequel to a franchise we're already familiar with, but it's such a fresh take that excites me for the future of film. Kaylee Spaney steals the show in the lead role of Rain. I honestly cannot wait to see her in more things because she did Priscilla and she did Civil War before this. So she is a young ass bitch who is ready to take the Hollywood industry by storm. And she already is. Then we've got Dora herself, Isabella Merced, showing that she got range, delivering us the most iconic scream of the film. And if you haven't seen it, you just gotta go see it. She's everything. The way she emotes without saying anything through her facial expressions as she's being dripped on by the alien above, I mean, it's just show-stopping. The standout, of course, is David Johnson, who I know from Industry, which I loved. I'm not caught up, so don't spoil anything for me. This man can act. And he got one of the most sickening shots in the film where he looks up and his eyes roll in the back of his head. It's just show-stopping. Fede is proving you can inject freshness into an old franchise that may be losing steam, and I honestly cannot wait to see where he goes in his career next. Looking at the annual box office with our top 5. Number 1 is Inside Out 2, which just hit streaming. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Disney once again making an ungodly amount of money with another great film. Let's talk about opposites of the spectrum, girl. We've got a children's movie and an adult movie. One that starts off with a full fucking dance fight scene accompanied by Bye Bye Bye. Number 3 is Despicable Me 4. I mean, what else can I say about that? Banana. Number 4 is Dune Part 2, probably the best film of the year. Denis, we're waiting for the announcement of Messiah. I know it's coming. You just gotta give it to us. I don't know when you're gonna give it to us, but we need it. And I need it injected into my veins. I love Dune, okay. And lastly, at number 5, Twisters. It's Glenn Powell's year, folks, and I'm ready to see more. Flying into theaters this weekend is The Crow, starring the hot clown himself, Bill Skarsgård, proving that you really can start at the bottom and now you're here. It's directed by Rupert Sanders, who's known for Ghost in the Shell and Snow White and the Huntsman. Yeah, so this will be a hit. I'll give him some credit. The trailer's fucking badass. FKA Twigs is in it. Is she gonna give us a pole dance? I don't know, but I hope so. But no matter how good it is, you're reviving a property. It is so iconic that people have flooded the comments of the trailer telling the studio that this is a bad idea. So I don't think it's going to have a solid opening weekend. It's not going to perform well. Will it perform as poorly as Borderlands? We'll see. Zoe Kravitz is making her directorial debut with Blink Twice, starring her man Channing Tatum and Naomi Ackie. Naomi is known for the Whitney Houston biopic she did a couple years ago, which left me completely speechless. She was incredible. This psychological thriller follows some hot people on vacation and things start to go wrong. So don't blink once, but blink twice. And lastly, we've got Strange Darling, an indie darling itself, directed by J.T. Molnar, starring Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. My favorite hot horror white boy is back in this dark romance that you're better off not knowing anything about. Don't watch a review, don't read a summary, just go and watch it. I haven't even seen it, and that's what I've been told, so I'm telling you. It's playing in limited release, so you might have to look around a little bit to find where it's playing, but it'll be worth it. I know it. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us, girl. It's done over $100 million, only been out 13 days, and apparently it's absolutely fucking terrible. This is reminiscent of the Don't Worry Darling drama. The movie wasn't that good, and it still did pretty well. There were homoerotic spitting conspiracies, Florence Pugh being a fucking queen, Olivia Wilde being insufferable.
The internet feeds itself. I don't feel the need to contribute. I think it's sufficiently well-nourished.
Going through a messy public divorce with America's sweetheart, Ted Baker, while dating a much younger man, Harry Styles, whose role was supposed to be Shia LaBeouf, but he's problematic. So, listen, there was a lot of things surrounding that film, and there's a lot of things surrounding this film. There's rumors that Blake and Justin don't like each other. They were fighting. The cast is uncomfortable, but Justin is actually speaking out on domestic abuse, and Blake is like, wear your florals, girls. Wear your florals to the film and support. Hashtag it ends with us. It ends with we. It ends with me. She's still absolutely stunning, and the pair is doing really well right now. They both got a movie in the theater making tons of money. She's problematic, I guess. There's probably a lot of problematic people. We just don't know about their problematic things. That's the reality. And I've seen Justin's podcast. I'm not saying that he's the best man in the world, but he's definitely a lot more self-aware and educated in certain areas than Miss Blake, who has chosen to treat this as if this is a cutesy girl rom-com. It's not. It was marketed that way, and a lot of people have opinions about that should have been trigger warnings before people went to go see this film. I gotta side with her for a second and say that this book is popular enough to know that it's about domestic abuse. There's even a little pinch of that in the trailer. So, I'm sorry. If you just look at a poster and decide, let's go see that movie, then that's one thing. You're going in blind. You don't know what to expect. There's no trigger warning. But I feel like this property is well known enough that it's not a cutesy rom-com, that most people know what they're getting into. I don't know. Am I fucking crazy for that? All I know is that this drama has got people talking about this film even more than they would have if all this drama wasn't present. And therefore, It's got people out spending almost $20 on a film that is not good. And I refuse to watch it. I'm not watching it. I'm not reviewing it. I don't care what you say. I have no interest. I have no interest to hate watch it. I hate watched Madam Web. And I thought it was quite hilarious. I loved all the inconsistencies. I love tracking all the holes in the story. And the props and the costumes and the VFX. I love doing all that. This I have no interest in seeing. Ryan Reynolds wrote the rooftop scene. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see it. Nope. I'd rather go back and watch 50 Shades of Grey and listen to Haley Steinfeld saying capital letters. That's it for entertainment news today. I'll probably have more next week. I'm sure I will. I'll see the movies that I told you about. I'll give you my thoughts next week. Tune in next Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going to give myself a deadline for that. Tune in next Wednesday. I'll be there, you'll be there, or we'll be square. We'll probably be square either way. Who gives a fuck, honestly? Okay, that's it. Mahalo for watching. See you next time. Bye.